Have you guys ever wondered what round a super boosted Adora can make it to if she had the perfect map to play on? Well, dudes, in today's video, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So Adora has a lot of really cool mechanics behind her. Like, she has the ability to sacrifice towers to increase her popping power. On top of that, she can also have an increase in popping power by grabbing the true sun god. So we're going to be doing all of that to see at what round Adora can actually make it to. Now, the first thing we have to do is come up with a map. So for Adora, I think we're just going to be going with like a classic straight lane map, because you really can't beat the straight lane maps, right? Because the straight lane maps are just so good. The only question is what design I want to use with this map. So I'm going to go ahead and come up with the design, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as I have the map finished. All right, guys, and I think this should about do it for a makeshift map to test out Adora. Though the map design really doesn't have anything to do with testing out Adora, because like the balloons just go straight across. Like, I didn't have any twister turns going on here. Like, I probably should have like added like the final pathway so it exited like up here in the top left. That way I could like control like where the balloons are, or at least know when we're about to lose, right? So now that we have everything figured out, let's go ahead and play and publish our map. All right, and there we go. We have officially beaten our map. So let's go ahead and share our map. So if you guys would like to play this map for yourself, here is the code. So let's go ahead and jump into a game and see exactly how far Adora is going to be able to make it. Now, one thing about this map, like, I know it doesn't look perfect, but for a map just to test out Adora, I felt like this would be more than sufficient, right? So we'll go ahead and start off with our Adora right here. Now, we are going to need a lot of money for this run, because we're going to need to get Adora up to level 20. On top of that, we're going to need to buy a true sun temple, and we're also going to need to buy all of the buffing towers for Adora. Now, the reason why I need to buy a sun temple is not to give it like the true sun god buff, but instead the reason why I want to grab the temple is that way we can get the true sun god version of Adora. So if you guys didn't know, when Adora gets to level 20 and you buy a true sun god or a vengeful sun god within the range of Adora, she will actually become a better version of herself. So I don't know these specific stats, but I do know there is a drastic increase from the level 20 Adora and the vengeful Adora, or the true sun god Adora. Now, just in case you guys were wondering, the way I designed this map is I made it so you could like place towers in pretty much all of the objects other than like these pine trees and the shrubs. Now, the main reason why I designed this map like this is just in case you guys want to like play this map for yourself and try to go late game with Adora as well. That way you guys could play on a similar map to what I'm playing on. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and get all of my farms set up. There's not really too much that we have to do. We do have to buy ourselves an MIB for Adora, because wait, no, we have her level 3. So her level 3 can actually pop purple balloons, but we will have to grab a camo detection for our Adora. All right, so round 24, here's that camo balloon. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a village. We're a little bit short on money. So I'm gonna go ahead and sell one of my farms to buy the radar scanner. And now that we have the radar scanner, let's go ahead and continue up our farming. On top of that, we also need to make sure that we're paying attention for purple balloons, so that way we can activate Adora's level 3, and we don't have to worry about the purple balloons, right? So I think that should be enough farms for now. Let's go ahead and start upgrading all of these farms up to 320s now. All right, round 37, we have all of our farms upgraded to 320s. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves the jungle drums now to go ahead and increase our Adora's popping power a little bit. All right, so round 39, we have all of our farms upgraded to banana plantations with the valuable bananas. On this round, I need to make sure I activate Adora's level 3. Otherwise, we may end up causing a regen farm if we're not careful. But now, let's see how our Adora does up against a Moab balloon. So I'm not expecting too much because Adora's kind of buns dealing with Moab balloons by herself. But let's go ahead and activate her level 3, and that should allow us to deal with this Moab balloon. There we go. So that's round 40 down. And now the next thing we're going to do, we should probably end up grabbing ourselves a MIB. That way we don't need to worry about purple balloons. And then after I buy the MIB, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the rest of these farms up to BRFs. And then of course we'll grab ourselves a banana central too. So round 50, I'm getting really worried with how far these balloons are making it, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself a stronger stimulant to go ahead and boost up our Adora's popping power just a little bit. All right, round 60, we have all of the farms that we're gonna buy. We have a lot of BRFs, as well as we have our banana central now. Also, our Adora just hit level 10, so the first thing I want to do is I actually want to go ahead and max level our Adora. So we have a really easy way of doing this. We just need to grab ourselves a druid. Let's go ahead and upgrade it up to Superstorm, and then let's go ahead and sacrifice the Superstorm to our Adora. And unfortunately, it didn't give us max level, but it was really, really close. So we just need a little bit more money to get her up to level 20. And then after we get her to level 20, then we'll go ahead and grab ourselves like the perma brew, and then we'll also grab ourselves the ultra boost as well. But now that our Adora is level 20, like, we shouldn't have any issues with any balloons at all. I say that, and we struggled a little bit with round, say, 63, but it's not the end of the world. All right, so now that we have our Adora level 20, I went ahead and I bought myself my ultra boost. So let's go ahead and start ultra boosting our Adora. As well as let's go ahead and grab ourselves our homeland defense too. And then round 68, the last tower that we need to buy is our perma brew. But let's go ahead and grab ourselves a heli pilot really quick. That way, as soon as we buy our brew, we can go ahead and move our brew out of range of the track. There we go. So our Adora should be perma brewed perfect. So let's go ahead and move our alchemist where it's not going to be affecting the track, way down here in the bottom right hand corner. All right, there we go. And now that we've done all of that, let's see. We need to grab ourselves a true sun god. So actually, I'm gonna have to move my perma brew over here on this side, I think, because I want to place like the true sun god here. Now, a good thing about going for the true sun god is that after we get our true sun god version of Adora, we can go ahead and sell our Adora. Now, in case you guys are wondering, I'm just gonna be going for the true sun god version. I'm not gonna be going for like the vengeful sun god version or anything like that, because the true sun god and the vengeful sun god give the same buff to our Adora. I'm not exactly sure why the vengeful sun god version of Adora doesn't get a bigger buff, but unfortunately that's the case. All right, so round 84, I think we officially have enough money to buy our true sun god. So a good thing about doing this is we don't have to worry about like going crazy with our true sun god. We just need to buy the tier 5 super monkey, and we should get the true sun god version of Adora. So this is what Adora looks like normally, and then when we grab the true sun god, we should get, there we go, dudes, we have the true sun god version of Adora. So now we can go ahead and get rid of the super monkey, because the true sun god version of Adora will actually stay on the screen, and you don't need to worry about like having a true sun god the entire time. So the cool thing about the true sun god version of Adora, called the true sun goddess, is it increases her damage by 8, as well as it increases her pierce by 30 and increases her range by 80. So this is actually such a massive upgrade for our Adora, which is why I decided to go for it. Now, I was debating on whether or not to go for the vengeful Adora, but I just want to get my Adora on the screen as soon as possible, because, I mean, if we went for, like, the vengeful sun god, then we'd have to get all of the sacrifices, and it was just much easier just to go for the true sun god version. Again, I'm not exactly sure why the true sun god version is exactly the same as the vengeful sun god, because you could just upgrade a super monkey up to the true sun god and not have to worry about buying any of the sacrifices, which it doesn't make sense, because in order to get the vengeful sun god, you need to have all of those sacrifices. On top of that, you also need the other 2 super monkeys as well. So again, I'm not exactly sure why the vengeful Adora is just as strong as a true sun goddess. It's just a little bit weird in my opinion. Like, in my opinion, I think the vengeful Adora should probably have like twice the stats as the true sun goddess. But again, that's just in my opinion. All right, guys, I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but like the bad balloon popped on screen for like a second, and then our Adora just absolutely annihilated it. Like, I have really high hopes for our Adora. Like, I think compared to our other heroes, I think our Adora may be on par with our Avatar of Wrath, which our Avatar of Wrath ended up making it all the way up until round 209. So I think our Adora should be able to pass that, because not only do we have the true sun goddess and we have all of these buffs on our Adora, but there's also another buff that we can give our Adora as well. Now, I don't know the exact specifics, but I think if we have $1,000 invested into a tower, then we sacrifice the tower, that's actually going to increase our Adora's popping power by a lot. So what the blood sacrifice does is it actually increases Adora's range, as well as it's going to increase her attack speed too. So this is going to be really crucial in the late game. Like, we're probably not going to have to worry about using it probably up until like around like probably 180 or around 190. And then that's probably when we'll start activating it. So one thing I want to test really quick. Oh my goodness, look at her range. How is her range so big? Like, what was that? Like, I don't get why Adora's range is so big. Like, is it her level 3 ability that's making her range absolutely massive? I think it is, Yeah, dude, I didn't even realize that Adora's level 3 increases her range by that much. That's so crazy. Another thing, I really want to test something out really quick. So I'm going to go ahead and buy myself a spike balls, as well as I'm going to grab myself a super mine just to see what the difference is from sacrificing a inexpensive tower and sacrificing a expensive tower. On top of that, let's just go ahead and grab ourselves like a normal spike factory too, and let's see how big of a range increase we have. So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the tech bot on our Adora, because that way we can get like an actual gauge of like how far the radius of our Adora is going to increase. So let's start off with the spike factory. So the spike factory, I didn't really notice like a big increase here. So let's just wait a second until the blood sacrifice ability runs off a cooldown. And so right now my cursor is right on the edge of the increased range. So let's see how much it increased. Okay, so that was actually a pretty big increase for just a normal spike factory, right? Now, the next thing I want to do, let's test out to see how big a range we get from a tier 3 spike factory. Yo, that range is so crazy, because the spike factory, the normal spike factory, increased the range all the way up until like the corner of the village right here. So just upgrading or just sacrificing a tier 3 spike factory actually doubled the range for a normal spike factory. That's so cool. And then the last thing, so the tier 3 spike factory ended up way over here. Let's go ahead and sacrifice the super mines to see how far the range increase is for the super mines. And there's not a difference. So if we just buy like a bunch of spike factories and we upgrade all the spike factories up to 300s, then that's going to give us the maximum increase for our Adora. Man, it's so cool having all these different abilities for our Adora. Alright, dude, so here we are on round 40 up against the reinforced bad balloon. And guys, like, our Adora is absolutely annihilating this bad balloon, guys. Let me go ahead and sacrifice one of my spike factories to see how much more damage our Adora is gonna do. Man, I can't believe our Adora shredded that reinforced bad balloon on its first lap still. Well, actually, I think it just finished its first lap and it was coming back for the second round, which is absolutely astonishing that our Adora can do that much damage up against a round 40 fortified bad balloon. Yeah, dudes, I don't want to jinx Adora or anything like that, but I think we may have a new champion for like late game. And this is just a guess, guys, because I mean, we still have quite a few rounds up until like round 190 where our Churchill end up losing. So I'm really interested to see if Adora's going to be able to make it that far as well. I do, so since there's not really too much that we have to do, I'm probably going to fast forward up until round 188 where our Quincy ended up losing. And then on round 188, I think that's when we're going to have to start working with our Adora blood sacrifice, because right now we don't need it, because we're on round 145 and our Adora is absolutely annihilating all of these balloons, right? I dude, so round 188, our Adora is still going crazy strong. I've been activating my blood sacrifice whenever there's like a big group of bad balloons on the screen. Right now, I feel like we still don't need it. Without the blood sacrifice, the bad balloons are making it about 5 rounds before our Adora ends up popping them, and then the DDT balloons and the ZMGs on the inside end up doing like another 1 or 2 rounds. So the bad balloons still aren't making it halfway through the map. So our Adora, I feel like she's not going to lose anytime soon, even though there's only 2 rounds left until the round where our Churchill ended up losing. So another thing I find kind of crazy is that our Adora right now has 220 million pops compared to our Churchill that only had a 201 million, and he ended up making it up to round 190. So the fact that our Adora already has over 20 million more pops than our Churchill, and she's only on round 189, it's kind of crazy that our Adora has had to deal with more balloons than our Churchill had to, right? So like I was saying, from this point on, I'm only going to be activating my Adora blood sacrifice ability whenever I see bad balloons on the screen. So the next big round for us is going to be obviously round 190, but as you guys can see, I don't think we'll end up struggling at all up against round 190, especially since we're breezing through round 189, right? Well, I say breezing through, but these bad balloons have actually made it pretty far so far. And one thing I want you guys to see, with the blood sacrifice in Adora's level 3, her range is absolutely insane. it was such a good idea to make a straight lane map for our Adora. So here we are on round 190. As long as our Adora can beat round 190, she will have officially taken the top spot away from our Churchill. And I think she stands a really good shot of taking away the top spot. All right, guys, so we actually managed to make it all the way up until round 200 with our super boosted Adora. So with our Adora, I've been sacrificing towers to our Adora every time the sacrifice ability runs out. So luckily, the sacrifice ability actually lasts for quite some time. So we don't have to spend as much money as I originally thought on spike factories, which is why I left all of my farms on the screen, because I initially thought that we would need to sacrifice a lot of towers in order to keep the sacrifice ability active. But to my surprise, I think it actually has like a 30-second uptime, which is actually pretty solid. So now let's see how well our Adora does up against a couple of fortified bad balloons. So these fortified bad balloons have actually made it really far, a lot further than I initially thought they would. But luckily, our Adora is about to take them down. Now, with our Adora, I think our Adora is going to end up losing to DDT balloons, because our Adora is doing really well up against like bad balloons. But when it comes to DDT balloons, she's actually struggling really bad. So I think the speed of the DDT balloons is what's going to end up causing our Adora to lose. So here we are. We just have this last bad balloon left to deal with. Let's go ahead and make sure that we keep our sacrifice ability up. And dude, like this bad balloon is making it so far. If the bad balloon makes it too, ooh, dude, that actually had me super worried. I don't know how far that DDT balloon made it, but it looked like it was about to leave the map. But then again, I could be a little bit mistaken, because again, those DDT balloons are absolutely insanely fast. And there we have it, dude. So we have officially beaten round 200. Now we're going to start seeing a lot more fortified bads. Like on round 201, we already have our first fortified bad. So I think past round 200, that's when we're going to see more fortified bad balloons instead of normal bad balloons, right? Now, one thing I'm a little bit hesitant about is like this fortified bad balloon is making it really far. If we have a round where we have nothing but reinforced DDT balloons, I feel like we may end up losing just because of how fast these balloons are. Yeah, look at those. Look at that DDT balloon. It made it so far. The moment that the fortified bad balloons probably make it like, I want to say between 11 to 13 laps, that's when we're going to end up losing to DDT balloons. That's so crazy. All right, guys, you guys know the deal. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the point where we end up losing, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as we do. And there we have it, dudes. Our Adora ended up making it all the way up until round 217. Which is 27 rounds higher than our Churchill. So our Adora ended up getting 538 million pops. Not too bad, and not too bad at all. So this is actually way better than I initially thought our Adora was going to make it. Because even like some Paragons on round like 217 start to struggle. So the fact that our Adora ended up doing this good is so crazy. But anyways, dudes, that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe as well, because I do upload quite a bit of BT6 content. But anyways, dudes, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.